Peace and blessings be upon you all, my brothers and sisters. Welcome back to our channel. So today we will discuss another fascinating miracle of the Quran. We all know that Pharaoh is a very important character in Islam, especially when Allah is discussing the prophethood of one of his messengers, Moses. In this context, the Quran refers to the pharaoh Ramesses II. Ramesses II is thought to be one of the most powerful pharaohs of the Egyptian dynasty, and his mummy was discovered in 1881. His mummy is also considered to be one of the best preserved mummies ever discovered. After nearly 100 years of discovery in 1976, the mummified body of Ramesses II was suddenly required to be transported to France. The mummy was being affected by some external fungus, which required immediate treatment to avoid complete decay. Interestingly, due to the French passport law, Ramesses II was even issued a passport by the Egyptian government as a prerequisite for visiting France. The scientist in charge of the Ramesses II mummy study was the French surgeon Maurice Buchel. Also, it was Dr. Buchel who discovered traces of sea salt in the body of Ramesses II. While salt was a major ingredient in the process of mummification, it was natural salt, which is very different from sea salt. This was a very clear indication that Ramesses II died by drowning in the sea, and his body was quickly recovered and mummified after his demise. The question that arose in Dr. Buchel's mind was how the body of Ramesses II could have remained so undamaged in comparison to the other mummies, despite the fact that his body was recovered from the sea. Let's find out what the Quran says about the death of the Pharaoh. And we let the children of Israel cross the sea. So Pharaoh and his troops pursued them in transgression and hostility until, as he was about to drown, he said, I believe that there is no God but the one in whom the children of Israel believe, and I am among those who submit to Allah. Allah said, Is it now that you have come to believe while you were rebellious all along, and you were among the mischief makers? So today we shall save your body so that you may become a sign for those after you, and many of the people are heedless of our signs. Dr. Maurice Buchel accepted Islam after reading these verses from the Holy Quran. Later, in 1976, he wrote an entire book titled The Bible, the Quran, and Science. Dr. Buchel was astounded that, while the incident of Pharaoh's death was mentioned in the Bible and the Torah, it did not mention that the Pharaoh's body was recovered and preserved. Furthermore, according to Wikipedia, the discovery of mummies in Egypt began around the beginning of the 19th century, with the first mummy discovered in the year 1817. So, 1400 years ago, how could the Quran make such a surprisingly appropriate statement about the Pharaoh and the preservation of his body? Indeed, it is a sign for people from their Lord. May Allah have mercy on all of us and bless us with the true knowledge of His guidance.
If you like our content, then make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for latest update.